Good morning, FYI family. Very good morning to you, folks. For your information, FYI, it's Tuesday, the 5th day of March. Already, believe it or not, already it is the 5th day of March. How are you folks out there doing? Good to see Debbie Collins with us, Beatrice Selby with us, quite a number of folks with us, and we're, of course, happy to have each and every one of you with us. We got a lot of things happening, folks. We want to share with you this morning. Great to have all of you folks on the live this morning. We got Debbie and Beatrice, Suchan, Sudhari, Claire Alexis, Charmley, Richmond, Naomi Drucker is here with us too. Good morning, Naomi. It's one of the first mornings, I think. Naomi met us. We met Naomi here when we started, I think. Naomi says she's watching from the gym. You see, when we get big, folks, when we get big, we want to be like folks like Naomi. You know, it's just after 8 in the morning here. Naomi is watching us from the gym. That's the kind of life you got to live, you know. Probably residing somewhere in Pradoville Tree. You know, the kids are off to school. The husband is out to work, and the wife goes off to the gym. Comes back, the housekeeper has the lunch sizzling on the fire there. You know how it goes, Naomi. You know how it goes. Folks, we're happy to have all of you here with us. Leon Logan, good to see you there, Leon Logan. And all of the other places that we are going to be going through too. Good to have all of you on the live as well. Good folks out there from the many, many places you all are joining us from. We're happy to have each and every one of you. Good to see you folks on the live this morning. Wanella Garnett, good to see you there. Gwyneth Anderson, we see you as well. Folks, so much is happening, including the Ghana Teachers Union strike. What are your thoughts? Emerson, what are your thoughts? Wanella, what are your thoughts? Good to have all of you on the live this morning. Wherever you're joining us from, good to have you on the live. Yeah. Naomi says everything minus the kids. Everything minus the kids. Good to have you. Andrew Griffith is on the live this morning. Vashti Pollard. Not forgetting Vashti Pollard on the live this morning. Good to have you, Vashti. How are you folks doing this morning, guys? How are you folks doing? Oh, Camille Cox is here as well from 6. Camille Cox from Region 6. Oh, what I wouldn't do now for a hot cup of coffee. What I wouldn't do now for a hot cup of coffee, folks. Yep. Who no. Good to have you there, Annette Cummins. Good to see Annette is on the live. Debbie says loud and clear. Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you so much, Debbie. Good to have you here with us. Denise London Welchman. We see you there as well, Denise. All the other folks who joined us this morning. Good to have all of you on the live. Karen Rogers is here too. Anton Nichols is here too. Sanborn is here with us as well. Folks from all of the many places you all are joining us from. A very good morning to each and every one of you. Thanks for joining us. Thank you so much. Forbes is here too. Magnell Barrow is here too. Camille say fed up. Camille say fed up. I understand that. Loretta Argyle is here with us too. Good to have you Loretta. Yeah. Elise. Did I call it right? Williams, good to have you here too. Elise Williams. Abira is here too. Lynn Fernandez on the live too. Nestor Ward is here. Lynn, how you doing? Great to have you, Lynn. Thanks for the things. Lynn, thanks for the things. Lynn helps us out so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good to have Edward Brooms and all the other folks with us this morning. Thank you, Lynn. How are you guys doing today? Pace and power. We're fired up, guys, this Tuesday morning. We're ready to go. Great to have all of you wonderful folks with us. Isabella and Dolly and Edward, Vanessa Ward, Beatrice Selby is here too. Guys, we're happy to have all of you. Camille, good to have you. Yeah. Camille is there. Mark, Waveney Doris. Good to have you all on the live this morning. Welcome to FYI, for your information. Good to have you there with us, folks. How are you guys doing this morning? The first 15. I hope it's 15, might be 6. The first 15, folks. The first 15. Y'all don't come wrong us like that. Do you guys watch 60 Minutes? I love me some 60 Minutes. Ever since I was a child, I love that CBS broadcast, 60 Minutes. You realize 60 Minutes is not always 60 Minutes? Sometimes it's 3 hours. Sometimes it's 5, it's 10. 60 Minutes! Yeah. Life is like that. You don't always get what you want. 60 Minutes. There's another program, quote unquote, I love to watch on the tube. Minute with Maxwell, Dr. John Maxwell, one of my favorite self-development authors. Dr. John Maxwell. Minute with Maxwell. Sometimes it's not a minute. Sometimes a little under. Sometimes a little over. It's Minute with Maxwell. The first 15 things, folks. We try our best to give you 15. The first 15 things. Some of you say, all of them. All of them we got to listen through. Nigel Plas. Marcia, good to have you. Debbie Collins, good to have you as well. Camille Cox. Camille says she wants a date for the lime. Hold on, man. Coming up. You can have a date for the lime. I'm telling you all, we have to have a meetup. All big people, us big people, got to stick together, you know. Us big people, we got to stick together. Good? We got to stick together. First 15, Haiti has some problems that the neighbors are worrying about. It's like how Brazil and Suriname worry about us. And Venezuela, worried about us in Venezuela. A lot happening in Brazil. I was reading in Foreign Affairs magazine just last evening, lots of misstep in foreign policy of Brazil. Lula's trying to catch his bearings, trying to find his bearings. When we wake up, Guyanese, we say it. When you study us linguistically, when you wake up, some of y'all wake up Basidi. Is Basidi an actual English word? Wake up Basidi. You see, I'm trying to catch my bearings, Gisela, have you caught your bearings this morning? Jennifer Bob, how are you there? Haiti has a lot of problems, folks. They tell us the gangs have overrun the capital and lots of other places in Haiti. That being said, they've released thousands of prisoners. The gangs has overrun the prisons there in Haiti, and thousands of prisoners have been released. Haiti's neighbors are bracing it over, for upsurge in violence there. To date, very sadly, all that talking CARICOM has done, all of that talking back and forth, CARICOM ain't got no boots on the ground. CARICOM ain't got no boots on the ground. CARICOM ain't got no skin in the game. Yeah, all of that. And I will repeat, as long as I can, it is to our collective shame. Nothing short of that. It is to our collective shame that CARICOM, that Haiti rather, is in the position that it is in. It is our collective shame. What I want to do with a cup of coffee this morning. We learned also as we run Haiti, Kenya and Haiti has recently signed an agreement for police deployment amidst this upsurge, this uptick in gang violence in Kenya. Folks, you all see that? Zero Hero, Magnal Barra, you all see that? If you got to bring forces as far as Kenya, you understand the kind of challenges that we have? Haiti is a CARICOM member state. Folks, we got oil this year. Haiti is a CARICOM member state. And police going to come all the way from Kenya to help our Haitian brothers and sisters. Right? While Irfan waxing lyrical, this newfound professed love for Haiti. So while CARICOM talking, you know the top 10 that CARICOM is, right? I read somewhere many years ago, when I was a prolific reader, men use words of action to cloak inaction. Can't remember where I read that. That's CARICOM. Using words of action to cloak inaction. You used to be a very prolific reader. I would turn out those books. Right? I'm a prolific listener of audiobooks now. Prolific listener of the audio. But I got my eyes sorted out. I got the glasses here. Getting the eyes sorted, folks. Yeah. Prolific listener of audiobooks. You gotta bring policemen all the way from Kenya, Naomi. Anne-Marie Selby, Mark. Mark says Irfan waxing and waning. Agreed. Junan Bowman, Dolly, Ruhan Basantram, Yvette Madhu. You got to bring policemen from Kenya to brace it over in Haiti. Carry come and carry gone. What else you want me to tell you? Carry come and carry gone. In Ecuador, they got some challenges. So we got countries there in the Caribbean Sea. Now in Latin America, we go around the corner. Got some troubles too in Latin America. In Latin America, we got some troubles too. Judges being detained. You see this fight for power? Oh, we saw it on full display yesterday at the Ghana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union. You see this fight for power? Some people taste the sweet. They don't want to give it up. They don't want to go and face an electorate. I'll give you some personal thoughts just now on that matter, on that subject matter. So Ecuador got some trouble, and we see a lot of. If you guys are following regional news in this sense, what's happening there in Latin America, folks? Guyana is not the world. Guyana is not the world. Some folks tell me Peru is extremely beautiful. I've been to Colombia, had the privilege of being in Colombia. Beautiful country, beautiful people, steep in culture, rich in culture. Oh, the food. Oh, the food. And the Colombian girls, they say what happens in Cartagena. Beautiful. Ecuador too. Quite a beautiful country. Right? You don't only read what happened with some of the silly things happening in this country. Right? You want to escape? Read what's happening in other places. More so, try to visit some of these other places. Beautiful, beauty. Latin America, rich history. Beautiful people. But they got some political struggles. And what we can tell them? We have our own. What we can tell them, Gwyneth? Mark, Abigail, Marlin, Gail, Alicock. What we can tell them? Hundreds of you are on our program a couple minutes in. Locked in, loaded. Do us a big favor, folks. If you find any value in our program, any value in the content, share the live and smash that emoji button for us. It's going to mean so much to us. It's going to mean so much to us. Share that live, smash that emoji button as well. And we hope that your morning is off to a running start. You've had your beverage. Really and truly, I feel like a frappuccino, a caramel frap. I had something marvelous in one of those hot beverage at Starbucks on the airport at Piarco. I can't remember what it was. Hazelnut something. It was magnificent. I said, I ain't never had tea like this. I haven't never had tea like this. And I never had tea like this. No way. Folks. No way. I ain't never had tea like this. Love it. But I would settle for some lovely black coffee, folks. In spite of all of that. Notwithstanding any of that, folks, I will settle for some hot coffee this morning. So Ecuador got its own trouble. Haiti got its own trouble. Caribbean Sea into Latin America, they got their own troubles. We right there at the doorway. Y'all know up there. Y'all know what's happening here, folks. We got our own trouble. Folks, yesterday I had a ringside seat. Quite like a fish. I had a ringside seat to the goings on at the Guyana Public Service Credit Union. Ringside seat. I was quiet like a fish. Folks, I learned in journalism when I was studying mass communication at the University of Guyana in the Communication Studies program, which I graduated from, by the way. Which I graduated from. You reported news, you try not to become the news. Some folks were, trying to egg me on for me to become the news. I was quiet like a fish as those proceedings. And a colleague of mine messaged me yesterday around 2 o'clock. I saw it late last evening as I was catching up with my messages. I saw my colleague said, I saw the distress on your face, and that is what happens when you see our own people fighting our own people, yeah, egged on by other people. And I saw that and I said, look at these big folks here. Us big people got to stick together. I can hear some of y'all say, no, us big people got to stick together. And I looked at these folks. The cameras were rolling and they didn't get it. They couldn't get it. But I like what Starbuck News said this morning. And I got some comments on my own. I like what Starbuck News said this morning. Margaret Nelson, I was quite like a fish. This is Starbuck News headline on our graphic. Swearing in of Public Service Credit Union's executives disrupted by dissidents. I'm certain Karen Van Slytman Corbin never thought in her wildest dreams in her life and illustrious career, she'd be described as a dissident. When I think of dissident, I think of people in China, the minorities, opposition in China. I think of them in like Myanmar and so on. But when Starbuck News has called me many things, a dissident, folks, is not one of them. It's not one of them. So Starbuck News says that the dissidents, the Gang of Nine, Karen Van Slytman Corbin led team, the Gang of Nine, disrupted the swearing in of the Public Service Credit Union's executives. I noticed Starbuck News didn't say marred election executive, fraudulent election executive. They said the dissidents tried to disrupt them. Folks, for me, the high point of my day yesterday, right? Why I was quite like a fish. The high point of my day was when Karen and company tried to lift up the table. It was a moment for me. I said, what the hell? The only thing that could have stopped that is if Karen had stood on the table. When Karen and co attempted to lift up the table, and in the same vein, they're calling the newly elected management team of the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, they're calling them the aggressors. They're saying they're the bullies. I saw the Trevor Ben team very quietly and calmly trying to go about their business. And Karen saying, y'all are the bullies. And she's trying to lift up the table. She's trying to overturn the table. I saw some of them come so close into the personal space of Trevor Ben's team, the newly elected management committee there at the Guyana Public Service Credit Union. And they're saying they're the bullies. Trevor's team are the bullies. And those folks are sitting so quietly and so calmly. Karen and co are trying to overturn the table, pointing their hand in people's faces, banging on the desk, all of that. And they're calling the other side, the disruptors, they're calling the other side power hungry, they're calling the other side bullies. But as I said, folks, the high point for me was when Karen and co were trying to overturn the tables so that the bullies could have a quiet meeting, folks. Take a look at some of that.
Assault and mentor at this point. So The chair of the meeting is Mr. Mayor.
Welcome back, folks. Some of the events at the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union. That was my high point of the day. Karen's colleague first attempted to upturn that table, pull that table, folks. And then she calls Karen, the chairman, well, the outgoing chairman rather, the outgoing chairman of the Committee of Management. And she comes too. During a time with cameras, I heard folks referring to them as ghetto butterflies. I don't know, but I heard folks referring to them as ghetto butterflies. That was my high point of the day. I saw them in the personal space of people, hand in faces, banging on the chairs people are sitting in. And I'm like, these people don't know what the law is. They're claiming that they have a legitimate right to sit there. Elections, according to them, they allege the elections were fraudulent and quorum and a whole manner of frivolous things. Right? And here, in full view of the camera, Karen and Co. display, breaking all the laws in this country. Right? And I'm thinking, wow. But listen, folks, Karen and company, notwithstanding, might be nice people. I have no problem with them personally. But these are the folks we really want in charge of anything. I don't have a problem with them personally. They might be good at something in this life. Honestly, you know what? I wouldn't even say tick me off. You know what I'm concerned about with this team? They've had a fair chance, right? They have been in there longer than Trevor Ben was chairman. They had a good opportunity to come to the members of the union with a plan. They might have already done a couple of things. I don't know. That's like a secret. They might have done a couple positive things for the credit union, and they might have a vision for the credit union. I would have loved to see this team led with the same energy they had to try to overturn the table there in the boardroom of the credit union, with that same energy, laying out a vision for the credit union to the membership at a recently concluded special general meeting, and have the membership decide which ideas put on the floor between Karen and Co. and the Trevor Ben team are the superior ideas. Which ideas are the best ideas to move the union forward? But no. They won't come through a back door. And then all that you saw there, folks, about 2 hours or 3 hours yesterday, they're calling the other side bullies. It's the most remarkable thing. They have 2 years, 2.5, maybe 3 years in there as the interim committee or whatever committee of management. And they couldn't mount a response at this special general meeting to say, these are our plans and proposals. This is what we have done with our tenure. And this is how we think the credit union can move forward. This is how we think we can be a part of that. No, none of that. That is what surprised me tremendously by this team. And then the display yesterday, I think, was the icing on the cake to all who believe that, Trevor Ben and his team are the right folks. Folks, I would have you know, just in case you didn't know, I am a member of the credit union and a member in good standing because I heard a lot of people being chased downstairs yesterday to pay their arrears and who owe money and a whole manner of personal attacks on people. I'm a member of this union, folks. So my interest is at stake too. You know, my interest is at stake too. So I want the best management possible for this union. So that's just some of what transpired yesterday, folks. Day two. Let's see what happens. Maybe I get my heart's desire. Maybe I get to see Karen on the table. I had my fingers crossed yesterday throughout the whole thing. Is Karen going to get on the table with her colleague? You notice her colleague was sitting on the table at one point and banging on it. I said, wow, this is how boardrooms, business is conducted in this country. Sitting on the table and banging on it. I was like, wow, is Karen going to get on the table too? Am I going to get my heart's desire? Just wow, folks. Just wow. That's some of what transpired yesterday at the Public Service Credit Union. The teacher strike is over. In other news, the teacher strike is over. And we first learned about this by one of the council representing the government's interest in the arbitration that was proffered by the judge of the High Court, Sandal Kisoon. Not the arbitration, what do you call it? Folks, help me out. My thoughts are chaotic. The process that was proffered by the High Court that they should meet, the team should meet, not arbitration. Y'all help me out, the man. Edward and John Jones, Waveney Dores, Yvette Madu. That process, he was representing the government's interest. Mediation, the mediation process. And this was, of course, lawyer, attorney at law, Darshan Ramdani. Some of what he said, folks. Take a listen.
The children of the nation, those students who are in school, would be pleased to know that the teachers will resume work on Wednesday, the 6th of March. That is, I believe, 2 days from now. So because we're in a critical time at school, Mr. Hussein is here, and the teachers will return. I think their SBA is going on, and I do believe that there's even common entrance issues to be sorted out. The union had asked at the beginning of these negotiations, or this mediation process rather, that they wanted everything to be on the table for discussions. They had asked for quite a little bit more than that during these discussions, but I believe good sense has prevailed in this process. The government has always been reiterating its position to engagement with the unions. The children of the nation, those students who are in school, would be pleased to know that the teachers will resume.
Yeah, that was the attorney at law. He had me at the children's of the nation. I kind of tuned out there. Had to coming back. The children's of the nation. He had me there for a little bit. I was thinking, you always kind of second guess yourself. Is this correct? Children's of the nation. I have to go back in my own mind and do that grammar maths. Well, on this side must equal to that. On this side, singular subjects, singular verb, plural subject, plural. Go back and do my English maths, folks. The children's of this nation. Or is my hearing going? You all know I'm at that age and stage. Or is my Tracy Clark said, well, it's probably all of our ears going. Tracy Clark said for her too. Naomi Drucker said she does. The children's of this folks, look, this is the same lawyer prosecuting, leading the defense for the electoral fraud cases. The children's of this nation. I had to pause. Let me catch back myself. Yeah. In trouble. Queen's Counsel. Darshan Ramdani, Queen's Counsel. That's why I like my Hughes, Fields, and Stobie law firm. All the way. Hughes, Fields, and Stobie. all the way to the children's of this nation. Folks, we can't be serious. This strike really over? You sure? Huh? When the Queen's Council comes out butchering the English language like that, talking about the children's of this nation, you sure the strike? You sure? Huh? We sure that he got it right? You sure? That's what they're saying, folks. You sure? Last evening, the president of the Ghana Teachers Union talked about how they came to the conclusion, how they got to this point in suspending the strike action. Folks, and we want you guys to hear some of what President Mark Light, this is president of the Ghana Teachers Union, some of what he said. Take a listen.
Like we were in court on Friday, the 4th of March, we met and there were several deadlocks that we arrived at. Positions changed and there were some consultations and advice sought from the learned lawyers and judges in the room. I want to say this, that finally we agreed to have teachers return to the classroom on condition that within 48 hours, we will have our first discussion with the Ministry of Education, where they have indicated, and if you look at the agreement, is that everything, including our financial matters, are going to be on the table. So those discussions will commence on Thursday, 48 hours from today. We've also agreed that our teachers will return on or before Wednesday, the 6th of March. I would want to say, as of tomorrow, teachers will have no need to be on the streets protesting. As of tomorrow, teachers who are desirous of returning to work, or you can resume for you to rejuvenate tomorrow. But we expect full resumption of teachers by Wednesday, the 6th of March. The following day, the Guyana Teachers Union will meet with the officials of the Ministry of Education and their ministries' counterparts to begin talks on a list that we have put forward. And this list includes, as our first priority, the issue of salary discussion and agreement. As you know, the GTU did put forward a multi-year proposal that spoke to 25% and 20% subsequently. So those discussions that we have waited for such a long time, so many years, are going to be facilitated. At that meeting also, there are going to be some other agreements. I know some folks are very concerned that they haven't seen certain clause in the resumption, in the agreement. But we were advised that since this is a court order mediation, those are not necessarily clauses that must be included at this juncture. So those will be included at our first meeting, signed off by both parties, and then released to the general public and to our teachers. So I wanted to say to you that the team fought very hard and long today, like we have been fighting for the last 29 days. And I want to express sincere gratitude to all our teachers across the 11 education districts. So all our teachers across the 11 education districts, you have done well. You have stood firm with your union. And like we always say, it is the you in the union that matters. And I believe that this is a clear victory for our teachers who have been crying out for the discussion on financial matters to be had. And we were talking about the absence of collective bargaining. The way is now paved through this agreement to return to work for those talks to come in. Let me also say, for some of our young teachers, it has never been the practice to have dialogue on the duress. And let me explain. Teachers cannot be out protesting and striking while there is talks about salary. matters pertaining to our teacher. We could be on strike talking about resumption and how we resume, but we can't be on talk at the same time when we are protesting or striking when our engagements commence. So that is why we have agreed for you to return on or before Wednesday the 6th. So in essence, the strike has been called off. There is no strike as of tomorrow. The strike has been called off, and we are urging teachers who need some time to rejuvenate, take that time, but ensure that you return to work by Wednesday.
Yeah, that was the Ghana Teachers Union, the president, Mr. Mark Light, bring us up to speed with some of what transpired over the last 24 hours and how they got to the point of suspending the teachers' strike. I'm certain if nobody else, the children's of this country, they're going to be very, very, very happy to be getting back to academic nourishment. Yeah, the children's this country, to quote one prominent attorney, they're going to be very proud. Let's see where it goes, folks. I see varying comments. I see varying emotions as regards this whole deal and agreement and all of that. Let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. Could a leopard, a zebra, like the PPP, change his stripes, change his spots? Let's see. Let's see where it goes. That's what they're telling us. As we're in the Ministry of Education, they're telling us that they are about to inaugurate an aquatic therapy pool. Yeah, that's what they're telling us. This is going to be, they have plans to inaugurate this aquatic therapy pool at the Regional Special Education Needs and Disability Diagnostic and Treatment Center. Got to hold your breath as you say that. Situated within the premises of the Cyril Potter College of Education at Turkine, folks. Yeah, sounds like a good plan to me, but how they keep the pool that we currently have across the road from the Artichon Convention Center, the upkeep of that pool leaves much to be desired. Yeah, I would say let me get one right first. See, let's get one right first. Right? A successful life is not doing 1,000 things, you know. Sometimes there's one thing that you get right and get right. Remember when Harper Lee wrote To Kill a Mockingbird? They asked her for a long time, why you write another book? Say, I had nothing else to say. Sometimes it's as simple as that. You know, they got another pool now. And we saw the pool there at the aquatic center in bad shape. Bad shape. All that posing for the cameras that Ramson doing day and night. I was quite surprised that pool is in that filthy condition. Horrible condition. Well, this is a I understand people need water and a decent pool for therapy, and I'm in agreement with all of that. But them boys have got a history of upkeep, you know, they've got to cut the ribbons and so on. And then governance, good governance and management and so on, it stops there. When they cut the ribbon, promise delivered, and they got on. And then when you go and see the pool, you might be safer outside. Your health might be better protected and catered for outside the pool than stepping inside. And that pool got Bigfoot, chigger, a number of other things. You might be safer outside. But let's see where it goes. Like the suspension of the strike. Let's see where it goes, folks. A number of things. I did tell you, covering the council for government, one of them at least, is the fraud case lawyer, lead counsel, chief prosecutor, Darshan Ramdani. And they're telling us, folks, the start of the trial delayed once more. And this, according to them, is no fault of Darshani this time. The last time he went before the court said everything was in disarray. Them boys said they got a plethora of evidence. a plethora, canoe of evidence, folks, to bring. But that the case was delayed once more because the opposing side has asked for time because GCOM has not submitted the minutes of meetings. You mean they're shining them trying to prosecute this case without having all of the evidence? So they're now saying they have truckloads of evidence, but it's the other side asking GCOM for the minutes of meetings Minutes of meetings are very important. Those are some of the official documents of any entity, any company, any business. Minutes of meetings, very, very important. What was discussed, what was agreed on, who said what, who agreed to what, very, very important. So they complained this morning that they're ready to go. He is so ready that he was put on the not arbitration. He was put on that team for the Ministry of Education, mediation team. He's so busy and ready. He got so much time to spare. So Darshan, you need to go over here. Go over and see what we can do. They put him on the mediation team for government that recently met with the Guarantee Teachers Union. More delays. Right? 4 years in, they're talking about the rigging and stealing of election. We can't get one conviction. Irfan can't get one conviction. Yeah. Not one. So much for that, folks. So much for that. We can keep you guys posted on that end. So much for that. There's a lot happening. A lot happening. One of the men who lost their lives tragically during that gold heist in Bartica, men just trying to eke out a living, work for their families, provide an income, provide work for colleagues in the mining chunk there, the gold capital, lost their lives because men are greedy. Well, one of those fellas, one of those guys, one of the deceased, post-mortem was done and they're telling us, they're describing his death due to multiple gunshot wounds. Folks, we're in a bad place in this country now. We're in a bad place and a terrible space in this country. All manner of things are happening. All manner of things. We're in a terrible spot. Crime like you've never seen it. It used to be in the dead of night, you had to be worried about people coming after you. But now is any time. They're telling us that the PE, the post-mortem examination, was done on Donovan Washington, minor Donovan Washington, and government pathologists has said that he died from multiple gunshot wounds. Yeah. Men are prepared to do that, to covet what is yours, to covet what is mine. You can deprive a man of his life. And then what becomes of it? Huh? What becomes of it? You know, overnight I was watching in Trinidadian news. Was it Trinidad? Grenadian news. Am I getting it right? Whichever island it is. Tourists, man and his wife, out on a yacht, brutally murdered, body assumed to be thrown overboard. Right? 2 Grenadian men. Help me out, folks. Y'all know which country it is. 2 Grenadian men apprehended. And you think, what was it all for? You've gone vacationing someplace, trying to ease your mind off of the routine of day to day. And so men come and deprive you of your life. And then they're captured. You know, what is this all for? That's how these gentlemen lost their lives. So meaningless because of greed. Because of greed. Greed. Look as their bodies were brought to Central Bartica. Weeping and mourning and gnashing of teeth. Lamentations. You know, Bartica, they say, is a very closely knit community. A little drop causes a ripple. Everybody feels it.
Oh, mommy.
Welcome back, folks. Folks in Bartica, that's like the whole township, you know. And those are the ties that bind. When sorrows come not as single spies, you know. They keep coming since the 2nd of August, 2020. Political parties, rallies don't be so big. But see, death, distress, and grief and pain, it cuts across all of that. Cuts across all of that. The whole township, it seems, turn out to see the bodies return. Greed inflicts that kind of pain on the psyche of a nation. Our thoughts and prayers to the families of the bereaved there. GPL, remember that oil spill in Tobago? Folks, we were on the ground there, and the folks there, the authorities, both in Trinidad and those persons here who understand this kind of work, not only oil spill, but understand the oil industry, the energy sector. They tell us this boat was carrying thousands of gallons of fuel, Neville and Vanessa, Gwyneth, for somebody, right? For somebody. And one of the things they said, look for who will experience a shortage. Because, of course, the fuel didn't meet. Of course, the fuel didn't meet. GPL said the boat didn't belong to them or any contractor associated with them. Sabak News reporting yesterday says GPL fuel has been delayed. It has a fuel shortage. GPL said it's not their boat and it's not their fuel. I'm telling you, everybody we spoke with, all the commentators said, look for who expressed fuel shortage, because that fuel was heading somewhere. Of course, the Trinidadian authorities told us this is bunker C fuel, and we know that GPL, because of its power generation needs, use that type of fuel. Bunker C, letter C, bunker, as in underground deep, bunker C fuel. GPL says that its fuel is late, it's delayed. But it's not them. Naomi said, pimp. People have been throwing out all kinds of information out there, right? All kinds of information to sidetrack, right? But I think you know what's happening here. It's not us, but we got fuel shortage. Our fuel has been delayed. Pimp. Yeah. You think there's one thing wrong in this country? Y'all see that? Right. You think there's one thing wrong? And some of these things are issues from yesterday. Imagine if we'd covered all of this. We'd have a 3-hour program last evening just trying to bring you up to speed with what transpired in one day in this country. All of the setbacks, all of the challenges, all of the maladies. Fuel delayed, fuel short, GPL, but it's now a fuel. Just in case you're thinking that the Coolie Boy, that's the name of the vessel that went down. The Gulf Stream, so the real name of the boat is the Coolie Boy. Right? It's carrying thousands of tons of bunker sea fuel. And the tugboat, the solo crete, its crew, and the crew from the Coolie Boy vanished in thin air. GPL said, our fuel is delayed, but it's not us. And Naomi got it right. Naomi said, brace it over for more blackouts. Brace it over for more blackouts. Every day is some scandal under the present government and administration. The rest is up to y'all. The rest is up to y'all. Yeah. But y'all know the gas energy project delayed again. You didn't hear? The gas energy project, folks. The gas to shore. See, later again, they're telling us now the Exim Bank was supposed to be funding the project. Jagdio swore, he said, I didn't come true, don't worry though. Didn't come true. They're now telling us the project is going to get underway at the end of 2025. Yeah. The gas to shore. Take a listen to some of what former Minister of Public Works, Minister of Infrastructure, former Minister David Patterson said on the subject matter recently.
When the government began pursuing the gas to shore energy project, it had stated that the pipeline bringing the gas to shore would have reached the shore by mid-year. The word now is that the project would be delayed until the end of 2025. Former AFC General Secretary and Member of Parliament David Patterson said that his party is concerned about the state of the electricity sector.
To say that anyone was surprised by the PPP's admission that the ill-conceived Wales Gas to Shore project has been delayed would be an understatement. From the inception, this project was doomed to fail. There were no studies other than those undertaken by the coalition administration prior to 2019.
He said that the economic viability of the project is untested. He said that even the basis for the project is flawed.
When the project was launched with much fanfare in 2021, the PPP projected that the country's power demand will be in excess of 405 megawatts by 2025, an increase of 145% above the country's existing generating capacity. This increase, they claimed, was due to Guyana's positive investment outlook. At the recently concluded oil and gas conference, the government has revised the country's energy demand projection to 280 megawatts by 2025, a reduction of 124 megawatts.
There has been no explanation for this reduction.
In July 2020, the country's available power generation was 165 megawatts with a peak demand of 125 megawatts. At the end of 2023, GPL power generation was 180 megawatts with a peak demand of 165 megawatts, a mere additional 50 megawatts in 3 years.
Patterson said that GPL secured 17 containers for power generation. Of these, only 5 are working, and these trip whenever any load is applied to them.
The AFC notes that no progress has been made on the country's application to the U.S. Exim Bank for the loan to fund the Gas to Shore project. It is suspected when the U.S. Exim Bank examined the project details that their technical experts has deemed the project not financially sustainable.
He said that this position is similar to the one the IDB took to the construction of their Mile of Walls project.
The PPP has never been able to execute any major project which has proven to be financially viable. Projects such as the Skeldon Sugar Factory, the Berbice Bridge, Marriott Hotel, CGIA expansion, and the fiber optic cable are prime examples of their poor project management.
Yeah, there you have it, folks. The Gas to Shore project delayed until the end of 2025. Yeah. This is how you feel they're coming. Gas to Shore delayed. What's next? Every day something. 17 generators procured, 5 working. What's next? We could unpack that in just a program by itself. We give it 2 hours. Just on that insert there, by itself, we could give you 2 hours. 17 generators, 5 working. Sounds like the PPP to me. Sounds like the PPP to me, folks. Body was found in a trench. Boobies. When sorrows come, folks, they come not as single spies. And this body is reported to be that of Odit Prasad Tham, a laborer of number 5 village, West Coast, Bobis. Renison Mitchell, a pork knocker of Seafield Village, told investigators that his cattle, along with other cattle under the care of the deceased, were impounded at Wellat Police Station on Sunday. He says they were impounded by a rice farm of Fowles Village. Mitchell went into the back dam as a result of that to look for Odette. And he stated that he and other cattle farmers continued their search. After not finding him at his camp, they continued the search and found the deceased motionless. The deceased sustained chop wounds to both arms and to his head. This sounds like the Henry Boyd story all over again. Chop wounds to both hands, to both arms, and his leg. His body was found overboard. When sorrows come, they come not as single spies. Shakespeare for you, but as battalions. Yeah. The dashboard on ganja, 44 million worth seized by Kanu. The last 48 hours, 72 hours, 48 million. I think it's a little rusty man under the cock. With them 2 seeds, is he planting that? 44 million in weed. Creepy weed. Yeah. I want to give you the things we promised. Hastening on, folks, as we watch program time here. The Red Dragon was raided. Hope you guys weren't there. Sheila Boy Child, Rasima, the Red Dragon was raided. It was an anti-trafficking in persons operation. And they said they detained a number of possible victims and that investigations are continuing. Red Dragon, man, you know Red Dragon. Same place. Same place. The CIA, I think it wasn't the FBI, met with the Attorney General about a year ago, and they said they don't only want arrests because the plethora of evidence is overwhelming. Who is doing the trafficking? They said they want to see convictions. They want to see convictions. Attorney General. That's one of the things we're following as well, folks. The Red and Red Dragon. I think it's one thing wrong in this country. Like in every front, it's something you can catch your bearings. I think that's done. Look. Narcotics destroyed at Ibini. Narcotics eradication exercise. Acres of land on the tillage. Acres of land. Them boys went and burn out. 44 billion creepy weed. Acres of, you see, because the agricultural sector is failing in such spectacular fashion under them boys. People got to eat, so they go into all manner of things. Right? As they respond to diverse temptation. Acres at the Bini. Yeah. That being said, Schumann has joined the chorus now and asking, demanding, instructing Dr. Asha Kisoon to vacate the parliamentary seat she's holding. They had a gentlewoman's agreement. I hope some of you not like Asha, you give your word and then you take it back. You get a big cat boy. Asha agreed she would only serve 90 days. Right? She got about her party, the what do you call it? Something movement. TNM, the new movement. The new movement. The party is disintegrated. It is no more. Right? She got 200 votes. Based on the number of votes, the 3 parties that got the 1 seat got, the term was allocated. So ANU, a new and United Guyana, Liberty and Justice, Schumann's party, will get the majority of the 5 years. while Asha with her 200 votes would get 3 months. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. You get 3 months, 90 days. Asha won't come out now. They said Asha was to vacate the seat since last November. She told him by February, I can be out. February is come and gone. Asha has not moved. So Anu took to social media over the weekend, released a statement, and now the other faction, they joined the party, Liberty and Justice, Schumann, Airline Schumann. He said Asha got to vacate, resign from Parliament, Asha. Right? What do you guys think? It's drama, folks. Drama, start to finish. Drama, start to finish. And finally, before I let you go, I'm leaving you all with homework today. Right? I'm leaving you all with homework today. There's a letter in today's Starbucks News. It is required reading. It is required reading. The failure of the Skeleton Sugar Factory was a result of a mixture of bad policies, unrealistic goals, and objectives. And in this letter, Frame It for Posterity by Tony Vera, he chronicles the PPP's missteps from the Skeleton Modernization Project, the series of missteps that led us here. He said it was under the Jack New presidency, the industry failed, and he should bear the responsibility of it. And he said everything that they did then, they're doing now. Jack gets back. The PPP come back. Everything they did then, Tony Vera says, that led to the failure of the sugar industry, to which Jack New has to bear the responsibility, the burden of its failure. See, everything they did then, they're doing now. I want to recommend it to you for reading. The fail is in Starbucks News, and it's free of cost. You can read it online. Free of cost. Let me see if I can drop the link from my end here. On the live to make it easier. Right? It says a mixture of bad policies, unrealistic goals, and objectives. That's what he said. Read it, folks. Read it. And you'll see all of the lies of the PPP exposed. Those are among the first 15 things we want you guys to know for today. Thanks for joining us here in FYI. Thanks for joining us, folks. Yeah. You're going to want to read that, folks. Take it for homework. Thanks for joining us, each and every one of you. Folks, do share the live before you go. I see hundreds of you, over 1,300 of you have joined our broadcast. We are so grateful. You know, some folks watch us on Facebook now and say, oh, people start watching you. All the while, I look quite like a fish. People start watching you. But lots of our audience has now migrated, our audience have now migrated to YouTube. And we're thankful. We are thankful. And so let me see what people might be seeing on Facebook. People seeing on Facebook, we got, let me see. We got 613 watching us on Facebook. We got 719 watching us live on YouTube. Thank you so much. And then we got a couple others, some other places. Yeah, believe it or not, over 1,300 folks watching us live. Thank you so much, folks, for starting your morning with us. That's all we have for you this morning among the things we think you should be considering as the day starts, folks. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Don't get in trouble, you know. Be like me, folks. I'm not a troublemaker. Be like me. I say quiet like a fish. Good to see each and every one of you, folks. We're going to see you guys later on. Have a fantastic rest of the day, folks, and stay safe out there. Take your time and peel your pie. Y'all know big people got to stick together. We did promise you guys we're planning a little meetup. As soon as we have all the pieces together, we're going to let you guys know. We're planning that meetup, folks. Pace and Pop, bear it in mind. bear it in mind. That's all for us. From us to this end. Until our next broadcast, stay safe. Stay safe